I am so glad you are here. It is Wednesday, July 1st, 2026. I'm Liz here at Megas Books and Herbs, and it is alive. So let's get into it. First, this is a pre-record, so I could bring you a fantastic interview. I am thrilled that in about 10 minutes, we're going to be talking to two amazing singers, award-winning, by the way, pagan singers. Shh, I'm keeping it a secret unless you read it in the intro to this. But let's get into what are we wearing, what are we drinking, shall we? So I have for you guys, I always have my wedding rings on, but a beautiful, let's see, this one's a faceted labradorite. I don't know why I'm fascinated by faceted stones today, but I guess I am because here's a faceted citrine, super clear. I love that. And this one that kind of looks like a diamond is faceted clear quartz. So affordable, diamond-like, go for that faceted clear quartz. And I'm just going to reiterate really briefly, our jewelry makers have told us their silver costs have tripled this year. So if you're liking silver jewelry, it's kind of still right now is probably the time to buy before those costs catch up to filter through their warehouses to us and then unfortunately to you guys. But that's what are we wearing, what are we drinking? I'm still on just a black tea kick, although we have some dum-dums. Those little suckers or lollipops, I stuck one in, so I'm drinking orange sweetened black tea. Now, what is going on? Let me let you know what is happening. First, of course, if you want to begin an in-depth herb journey where we look at the psychology, the magic, the medicine of traditional herbalism from around the world, that class right now is meeting on Tuesdays. In September, it will start meeting on Wednesdays at 6 when we close up. It's always fun. You can check out more at the events tab on our website, megasbooks.com. But our year ones are meeting right now on Tuesdays, year 3 on Wednesdays. It's always a blast. The 4th of July, we always close for Roger's birthday. Always, always, always. So we will not be here for better or for worse. One of the 5 days a year we're closed. On the 5th, though, we'll be back. We'll be here. We'll be rooting for everybody. We've got Gateway to the Gods at noon. So if you'd like to experiment with a beginner dose of an entheogenic herb and learn a little bit about its chemistry, its folklore, all the basics of it, Wednesday or Sunday at noon, that's the day, July 5th. And at 3 on every Sunday for the summer, we have story time. So you can count on a little space in here for kids and their parents to just hear some of the fantastic fiction we've got in our kids fiction section. We have some really fun books right now. So it has been a blast to do that. So y'all are welcome. On the 11th, Saturday, The Politics of Angels with Emrys Abner. Yes, he is the guy whose Solomonic Chronicles books we've recommended again and again and again. And we'll keep recommending. His next book is due out this fall. Very excited for that. He's a local author and musician, so you can also look for him to be out in the music world as well. 3 o'clock on the Saturday, the 11th, American Folk Magic with Eshu. Fantastic class, super popular. You can register for that online at the website. It is a by donation class, and then you'll see some suggested donations, and you can do what you can, but we don't want to make it an impediment to your getting the information. On the 12th at 10, that's before we open, but at 10 a.m., there's a pre-initiates class for people interested in pursuing a Gardnerian path. It's always fun. This coming Sunday is the divination party. So if you are coming to that one, bring a divination method that you play with or would like to start playing with. And we're just going to spend an hour goofing off with our divination stuff. It's going to be great. Of course, at 3, story time. It's Sunday. On the 18th at 3, Practical Magic. This is Daryl's classes. Probably Daryl will be teaching that one at 3. And on the 19th at noon, we have Reiki 1. At 3 is the story time. And at 4, the support group for those with chronic illness and cancer. Not both, one or the other, hopefully. It's led by Jessica Settergren, who's amazing. She has a book on her experiences working with going through cancer treatment, surviving cancer, and the ongoing process of dealing with the aftermath of all the checkups you still have to do, the fact that it's still brought to your attention on a regular basis. She has volunteered in other agencies. She has started a support group here She still volunteers, by the way. She's a buddy for people going through breast cancer. She's an amazing woman. You can pick up the book here. You can also come to the support group here. That may be taking a hiatus for part of summer. We'll see. But right now, it's still scheduled, I'm happy to say. And of course, while I will not go through the calendar until we get to October 8th, buy your tickets now for BlackWillow Starling, the amazing award-winning pagan band singing duo that is going to be here live. $15 a ticket for a full set of music. It's going to be fantastic. I would recommend making an evening of it. Come out, see the concert, grab some drinks or dinner before and after. You're going to have an amazing night. And as always, if you're going to be here that long, you're going to be on the street parking past the limit. So go park over in St. Clement's Catholic Church parking lot. I have spoken with them myself. They are fine with us using their parking lot. You will, just because of where we are located, park very far away from the church, and the churchgoers tend to park right by the church. So you're golden if you park there. It's free, it's safe, it's the place I park every day. That said, it is from the major intersection that our shop is on, Central and Lowry. It is 1/2 block west on Lowry Avenue, and it'll be on the south side of the street. If you're coming from Central and Lowry, that's a left turn. Super easy. So park there. That's what are we wearing? What are we drinking? What's going on? Let's talk about readers real quick. We have had a change to the reader schedule. I'm excited to say it's going to be fabulous for everyone involved. But let's say you want to get a reading with Eshu. Eshu is here all day on Sundays, noon to 6. He's here on Wednesdays, all day, noon to 6. Fridays, he is here all day, noon to 6. And Saturdays, he's here from 12 until 3. Now, if you want, he does, by the way, tarot and palmistry. He's very good at both, and he's almost ready to do the audition for runes. I already know he's a good reader. He's just brushing up and making sure he understands those runes in depth before he unleashes that talent as well. If you want a reading from a woman, if you want a woman's perspective on your tarot reading, Margaret is the person to come see. She is only here on Saturdays from 3 until 6. That's it. So come and see her if you want to. Daryl is here on Mondays from noon to 2. That's probably Daryl. You'll see a lot of his products as well in the store. He's fantastic. And you can find his products at other shops in the area as well. But he's here with his Oracle deck. And by his Oracle deck, I mean the one he designed, yes, during COVID, because that's when we all had time. And he will give you a tour of that deck if you'd like, whether you get a reading or not. He loves showing people his deck. It may become available to the public in the next year or so. So if you're curious, it's a really well-designed deck. It's a very cool deck to take a tour of. But he's here Mondays from noon to 2, Tuesdays 3 to 6, Thursdays noon to 3. And if you would like to get dream interpretation done, that, like Margaret, that's a once-a-week opportunity on Mondays from 2 to 6. That's Morpheus. He's excellent at figuring out what a dream means. So if you've looked up all the symbolism and what it's supposed to mean, and you're like, no, that can't be right, he can walk you through a better way and help you find the real meaning for you of what those symbols in your dreams actually mean in your case. So he's excellent. I will also say that Ravenwolf is here twice a week. He's here noon to 3 on Tuesdays and 3 to 6 on Thursdays. He is an amazingly good tarot reader. It's great to get his perspective on things. He's excellent, comes with a big background, working with lots of different folks over the years. He's just an amazing person who has had an amazing journey so far through life. And I do recommend all of them. They've all passed an audition showing that they have some talent, yes, that they already know the system they're using when they're reading for you. They're not training on the job, really. And that they can talk to people they don't know about this stuff, which is surprisingly a really important skill. In any event, cool stuff. I don't have a ton to show you. I'm super excited for something that's coming in this week. In fact, by the time this airs, since this is a pre-record, it might be out in the shop because it's due in on the 30th. This is the first company that we're experimenting with to get in a replacement for what appears to be the collapsed Fred Souls incense line. I know you're heartbroken, so am I. We have loved their incense for many, many, many years. And what I have done is I have been looking for companies I can work with that do high-end, high-quality American incense. And there's 3 companies that we're trying to work with right now. The first company, the order's on the way in. And what they'll be covering are sort of the very southwestern scents that Fred Souls used to carry. So it is things like sage, pinyon, pine. There are all kinds of sort of southwesterny scents. It's a much smaller line of incense. They really concentrate on quality rather than a breadth of different types of flavors. And that's the big distinction between the various companies we'll get in. We're going to stock them. We're going to see who you guys like, and who you guys like, we're going to keep. That's the rule. That's how it works. So this first one is Juniper Ridge, and I'm really looking forward to having them in, possibly having them for an interview here at some point. But I do want to let you know that Eshu's Tar Water is back in stock. Again, super strong if you're looking for an unhexing. Keep in mind, one of the key ingredients is black walnut, which is fantastic because it is definitely about having boundaries, I tell you. But that does stain. So sometimes that can be used very, very, very little, and sometimes it really can be a wipe on, wipe off kind of situation. But I love his stuff. Something that came in used that I wanted to alert folks to, because I think it's fun. Sorry, this is my last one for you guys, is we got a little tiny Klimt tarot deck. It's $9. It's absolutely amazing. If you have ever wanted, if you've ever been a fan of Klimt, if you've ever wanted this deck and you're happy to get a mini version, it's here till it's gone. What can I tell you? We have one Oracle deck left from the last big batch, and then this one deck came in last week. So I wanted to let you guys know, to alert you all. But that's what's going on, what's happening, what's new. We'll have some books coming in this week as always. It's always fun. Let me bring on the amazing BlackWillow Starling duo and let them introduce themselves, and we'll chat about why I think they are amazing. I know I use that word a lot, but I do. I think they're amazing. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Nora.
And I'm Michael. I'm just making sure you have us there with audio. Okay, great.
Yes. It was just tricky for just a second, so I'm so glad you're here. You guys are coming through. Is this your first Midwest tour that you're doing this fall?
I would say it's our first Midwest string of consecutive dates, yes. Now, we are based in Milwaukee, and so we've done dates in the Midwest, plenty over the last, let's just say 2.5 years. But we now have a consecutive string that we're going to be doing throughout October and then into November, and stopping at your store is one of them.
Yeah, you'll be here Tuesday, October 8th. I am very excited.
Thursday, October 8th.
Oh, you're right. Thursday. Thank you. Thursday, October 8th.
You can show up on the Tuesday if you want to, just hang out at the store, I suppose, right?
That would be fun for us. But we are, we're playing your music and loving it. So we've been having fun with that. And we've got you postered up like it's 1970 with flyers. So hopefully everyone coming into the store and walking by the store is seeing those fabulous flyers, and they're getting online and grabbing those tickets. But I am curious, now you guys are based out of Milwaukee. Is that where you guys are from? Is that original for both of you?
Yes, it's original. I was born, in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm.
I was also born right in the heart of downtown in the city. The hospital is no longer there, but we live north of the city right now.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, the same for me. My hospital's not there either. What can I say? We grow,
Right.
And what got you to one at a time, I guess. What got each of you into music this far? I know lots of kids are encouraged to dabble. It's good for your mind. It's good for your education. But what led you down this lovely path?
I think, let's see. Well, of course, as a child, music was incredibly important to me, and it spoke to me on a level that nothing else did. And I think that continues. It inspires, it comforts, it informs. It's an artistic media that is like no other. And so that's why it's still in my heart. Mike?
My grandma started me playing when I was about 5. And as Nora is saying, music is a language all of its own. I feel that I can express some things musically that I maybe can't in just spoken American English, because you get not only lyrics, but then you get musical sounds on different instruments. And I think that adds to the language that I want to use for music. And so when I team up with Nora, we have a language all of our own, I guess we could say. We have BlackWillow language. So.
It is an amazing language. I agree. And I think there is something about it that just touches the soul. And I think your music has done a great job doing that. When I first heard you, I compared you to a like 1970-ish British folk band, Steel Eye Span. I thought, wow, this sounds so much like Steel Eye Span. That's amazing. And I only know about Steel Eye Span because our founder is a Brit. And he played Steel Eye Span in the shop. Do you like that kind of comparison? Is that a comparison you would go with? And what other influences would you say you have in your music?
I love that comparison. That's wonderful. Yes. Fairport Convention. Yeah. All that British folk revival stuff very much is an influence for us.
There's actually a song on our debut disc, All Around My Hat. And Liz, I think you and I may have had this quick conversation when we were first talking, but Span, doing their version of Hat, and we do our version of Hat. And there was another podcast that we were a part of where this guy, it's called the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, where he did a program just specifically about that one song, and it featured Steel Eye and it featured us and some other bands. So yeah, when you say Span, yeah, it's like sure, that's right on the money.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, for those of you who don't know, one, you can look up BlackWillow Starling on Bandcamp and listen to some of their music, but you can also find Steel Eye Span stuff online and just check them out. Make a comparison for yourself if you're out there and tell us in the comments. Since this one's a canned show, I'll have to look next week, but it will be fun to see what people think.
Mm-hmm.
This little string of dates that you've got going, where else are you going to be on that little tour?
Well, besides your store, we can't quite announce a date for October 7th as of yet, but we're pretty sure that we're going to add that date for another location in Wisconsin. But then on Friday of that week, that would be the 9th, we are at Stony End Music Loft in Red Wing, Minnesota, and they are a part of a music store called Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin has an origin in the UK. They do a lot of harps and bodhráns and ethnic instruments, and they have a soundstage right there in the store. On the 10th, we are going to be in Menominee, Wisconsin, at a store called Raw Deal
Coffee shop.
Vegan coffee shop. So that should be good. On the Sunday of that week, we are going to be at the Haunted Humbird Hotel in Humbird, Wisconsin, for a matinee show at 2 p.m. We've been talking with them for quite a while. That seems like it's going to be a pretty fun Sunday matinee show. And then we have other dates in November. For Wisconsin, we're going to be doing Friday, November 13th at Cafe Carp in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. That's a specific folk listening room sort of venue, as well as Saturday, November 14th at the White Lilac in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Also a very specific folk acoustic listening room. These aren't bars, they're not taverns. It's not that sort of situation. And all the shows on this run follow that sort of path. You're here for the event. And that's really been a focus of BlackWillow Starlings since our inception of how we want to present the band.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. And you have definitely been out and about. You've done a lot of festivals, if I recall correctly. Historically.
Yeah, this summer we had 3 festivals. This summer we had the Florida Pagan Gathering for Beltane, where we released our latest album, And then we did the Chrysalis Moon Festival here in Wisconsin at Eagle Cave. And then most recently, we were at Pagan Spirit Gathering at White Lake.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
For a week, yeah.
Yeah, it was a busy 6.5 weeks. When we were at Florida, I mean, that's a week-long Pagan Spirit Gathering. We were there for 9 days or something like that. Was set up and then leaving, and then you throw Chrysalis Moon in there.
Yeah.
So it was a busy 7 weeks, 6.5 weeks for us.
But absolutely great. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm
traded
sure.
for a minute of it. It was great.
I'm sure I've got loads of folks I know down in Florida, and they put on a great event. So I'm sure you had a blast there, and all the rest of them as well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask an unfair question, and you can disagree between the two of you, because I know all of your songs are your babies. But on each of your 2 albums so far, do you have a favorite?
Would you like
I've
to go?
never been asked that question before. I might need a minute to think. You?
Off the top of my head, on the first album, and this is just the first answer off the top of my head, and I've said this in other interviews and discussions before, I'm gonna go right now today with Sun King, and the reason being, we think that we're pretty happy people.
Yeah.
I know that we love the dark side of music maybe just as much as anybody else at times, the moody part of music. But when we were releasing the first album and talking about the track listing, we really wanted to put out something that sounded joyous, positive. And when I was looking at the tracks that were going to be on the first album, that was really the one that stuck out and delivered that sort of message. I love the call and response towards the end of that song. I loved playing Penny Whistle on the studio track. So now, sometime later this year, when we're not at the start of summer, maybe my answer is different. But for now, off the first album, I'm going to go with Sun King. So does that give you enough time to think about what you're?
Yeah. Yeah, Sun King definitely off of the first album. Yeah, that's my baby.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
For sure.
Off the second album, I'm gonna go right now, knowing that I can change my answer by the time I get to October. I'm gonna go right now with either We Won't Wait Any Longer, the redo of that track, just because of the times that we're living in, and knowing that we're coming up to Minneapolis, or I think I'm gonna go with Echo's Answer, which the state bird of Wisconsin is the robin. And when we were finishing up that track, it was getting into springtime and birds coming back to the state and hearing those sounds again. So I'm gonna go with those. I'm one of those two with again with the right to change my mind.
Absolutely, always. How about for you?
I'm gonna say We Won't Wait. I don't mean to imitate you entirely, but yeah, We Won't Wait. Are you familiar with that song, the Gwydion song? Okay.
Yeah, it definitely. But if you want to tell our listeners the story, please, yes.
Gwydion was a bard in the 70s and 80s, and he penned a song called We Won't Wait Any Longer, and this is it is a pagan anthem. Mm-hmm. It's not only about resistance, but it's about resilience, and it's a beautiful song in and of itself. And so we decided that we would like to revive that song. And we went through the process of getting permission to do that. And I'm pleased with how it came out. I was really hoping to keep some of the original feeling of the song, but adding our vocal harmonies and our putting our touch on it.
Mhm.
So I'm really pleased with how it came out.
It is a beautiful piece, and you're absolutely right. I think it strikes a chord with where we are at right now in society, especially here in Minneapolis, where the resistance was as beautifully strong as it was. And frankly, around the world, around not only in the US, but entirely around the world. And my heart goes out to everyone's been protesting at all of the detention centers so successfully. Loving seeing that. And I can't, having spent a significant part of my childhood in New Jersey, I can't help but think, yes, go. They didn't know what they were doing when they tried to open a detention center there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it always, it plays in the background, and I am very accustomed to just the music's the music, and that one always catches my ear every time it plays.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the right song for the times. How do you pick the music that you do choose to put on those albums?
Well, for Thornapple, the latest disc, we actually had more songs ready to go than what made the album.
Sure.
And I mean, Nora and I mean, we really nitpick what is the flow of the album.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the songs that didn't make the album, we're expecting they could most likely make whatever is going to be the third album whenever that comes out. It's not like the songs are troubled or bad or in any way. We're just looking for a certain flow of the disc. When it comes down to the musicality and sonic structure of an album, I'm going to be the nerd and the geek that says we can't have songs, 3 songs in A minor all in a row, or we can't have the 3 songs that I'm playing whistle on all in a row, and there has to be some breakup just of sonic structure. And then I guess I would say the other, who's singing lead?
Who's singing lead? Yeah, we want to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Make the flow of the tracks interesting.
Yeah, and if you listen to the album as a whole, front to back, there's rises and falls in bass frequency. You're going up and you're going down and you're going up and you're going down. So it's not all just thrown at you at one thing and then completely removed from you in another way. It needs to be a cohesive piece, the whole album.
Yeah, the whole piece is a musical statement, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And I suppose for folks, I would call that the art of being a good DJ.
Sure.
For folks just listening, that's the closest, I think, way of describing how you architect a series of songs so that they make a coherent statement and ebb and flow well.
Yeah, I think we went through about 5 different track listing options before we decided on the one that we chose.
Mm-hmm. And there's always
honestly, there are plenty of artists who talk about it and talk about this was a great song, but it had to wait for the next album because it just didn't fit the album. Not that it was a bad song. So yeah, I think that idea is definitely out there and an important one because you want to present a cohesive whole that everyone's going to enjoy listening to straight through. We have hit shuffle because we've listened to it straight through plenty of times here, but at the same time, it is, you're listening to a concert when you're listening to the way everything is laid out in order. And I think that matters and it makes a difference to the whole experience. So for those of you who are going to pick up your CDs while you're here,
oh yes,
listen to them straight through first would be, I think, everybody's advice here before you pick and choose or decide to shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating though. So what I'm hearing is there's a third album and it's already potentially partly finished. So that perhaps by next spring or summer there could be another one.
Maybe. We have some things going on next spring that are going to take some time, so may not get in the studio, but things will be cooking, I'll tell you.
I think as of right now, between the 2 songs that didn't make the album and then other trad pieces, and other fledgling ideas that we have, if our engineers said, hey, in 2 weeks time we're going to go in and start recording, we could probably start tracking the skeletons for about 7 or 8 songs.
Wow. That's fantastic.
You know, there's some uniqueness and fun about going into a studio and creating a song right there. But then there's also that danger of you do things in too much of a rushed fashion, and then the song ends up actually taking on another voice later as you work with it more. So
I'd rather not do that. I'd rather play them out and work with them a little bit before we record them.
Yeah. Let audiences help fine tune what you're doing, I'm imagining.
Yeah. Live bullets, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And for everybody out there listening, you have to come, if only to say congratulations to these newlyweds.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
At the time of this recording, I mean, there can be 31 days in a month, so we're still at the one month as of today.
Very nice.
Thank you.
That is so cool. Congratulations, definitely.
Thanks
You're
so
an
much.
adorable couple, so right there, it's bonus points. And as a musical duo, how long have you guys been at this?
Let's see. As BlackWillow Starling, we're going on 3 years.
Yeah, not even.
Okay, 2.5 years. Yeah. Before that, we've been singing and playing together. We do music outside of BlackWillow Starling. We're playing the 4th of July, that kind of a thing, and with the different set list, and so we've been doing things like that for years and years before. So we're familiar with what each other is about musically before we got into BlackWillow Starling.
Yeah, we consider the birth date of BlackWillow to be February 13th, 2024.
Okay.
That's the birth date of the band.
That's fantastic.
Now, when and like a child, when it's born, sometimes that child doesn't have a name right away. but that is the birth date of the band, and we came up with the name probably within 2 to 3 weeks after the inception of this, because we went through a few different name processes and trying to decide on that as well.
So you're basically wonderkins. You established a thing and you're already becoming famous and award-winning musicians. It was nothing. You just instantly. Which reminds me, tell me about the award you did win.
We won the Pagan Band of the Year. That was through International Pagan Music Awards. That was a bit of a surprise to us. A lovely, lovely surprise, of course. Did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, they're associated with International Pagan Radio, and and the IPMA is still up and running, and we became colleagues with Melissa Anderson and Alfred Willowhawk. Those folks out there, they're essentially based in Ohio, and they had invited us out to their awards ceremony in November of 24. Not to do any speaking or to get any. They just said, "Hey, would you come on and play?" So we went out to play, and we met some folks out there, and we were just having good communication and having a nice weekend, and met a lot of really lovely people. And then you can become a member of the IPMA. Actually, if you go to their website, you can find out how to be a member and be a voting member for IPMA, because I know BlackWillow Starling are we're on that nomination list, from what I understand, for for
this
this
year
year.
as well.
There's so many good bands.
Yeah.
And friends of ours
Mhm.
too as well. And there's so many good artists. So we just encourage you to go to the IPMA, register for that, check them all out, and listen to their material on IPR and the Cauldron. That's another station associated with all that. All good stuff, and good DJs. So we appreciate them.
So everybody go check that out. But I love that you were surprised by the award, because what it says to me is it was really a grassroots reward that the members voted and you didn't even know.
We were pretty shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lovely surprise, though.
Oh, I think that's a true honor. I really do, when that happens.
Agreed.
Well, we are coming close to the end of the time we've got today. Did you folks want to share anything else with the folks who are going to tune in and watch the rerun?
Do you want to talk about this?
Nice.
Yes, I do.
I have it.
Nice close up. Why don't you tell them about the painting a little bit?
Well, the painting is a piece of original art that I painted. It's a thorn apple plant. And this is the cover of our latest CD, our latest release that you can find on Bandcamp, or it's streamed also on most major streaming services. It will also be available when we come up to Magus in October. We also have t-shirts and all kinds of other swag.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. And if you have been in the store or been online to book your tickets, then you can see her art all over, because it's featured in our poster and social media graphics for the concert on October 8th on that Thursday night. So we love that piece, by the way. I think it's absolutely beautiful piece of art. So I'm so impressed by that as well.
It's right. The originals right behind us right now.
So how much time and energy do you focus on visual arts as opposed to music?
I don't anymore. That's actually an old piece. I would love to paint again. Yeah, hurts a little.
Retirement career.
Yeah.
In fact, that is our founder's retirement career. He went all the way back to art school, and back to his past, where he went to art school after high school, and that's what he does now, is he paints. And
good.
When you're here, you'll be able to see some of his work in this classroom that I'm sitting in right now.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It should be a really fun time. Well, you guys, I cannot thank you enough for being on, and everyone out there. As always, thank you for watching, and thank you for being your amazing, magical you. Myself, everyone else here at Magus, we love that about you. And of course, we appreciate the little magical things you can do right here in social media land. I know you know what they are. Go ahead, click that little like button or whatever it is you got on your social medias. And we will see you again soon. Everybody have a wonderful and amazing week. And I hope we get to see you all here for the concert on October 8th. If we oversell, I do have plans for where to hold things. So don't be afraid. Buy your tickets now.